Alright, ladies and gentlemen, MrSotko here. Welcome back to the channel. Got a bunch of good news stuff for you today, as usual, and we're just going to jump right into it. The first article is kind of news, but it's something interesting nonetheless, and it states, is the Comino N1 miner the Apple of miners? Well, that probably means it's going to be really expensive and may not get you exactly what you could get for any other price. But let's check it out. So it's basically an article of a review, if you will. It says, at first I was a little scared of the size of the device, but it has 8 GPUs. They're liquid cooled, 2 PSUs are air cooled, so it's understandable why the device would be so big. It doesn't look too big, kind of looks like a tall tower, if anything. I said, after the disassembly, you realize that the weight is basically coming from the water cooling, because all the GPUs are water cooled. So I guess that's a lot of water. So let's first start with the heart. The miner is powered by 8 NVIDIA P106 GPUs. So if you don't know what those are, they're basically 1060s. He says they're basically 1060 Ti series in the article here, but 1060 pretty much. The 6GB version anyway. And they don't have any HDMI outputs. They don't have any monitor outputs, so you can't actually plug a monitor into these. They're just specifically for mining. You just slap them in a motherboard, and just one of your cards should have an HDMI port on it, and you're good to go. Otherwise, you might have the integrated on your motherboard that you use just for a monitor. But for the most part, yeah, the P106 and the whenever you see the P100-ish series, they're just basically the same card, but they're a little bit cheaper to manufacture because they don't have any kind of outputs or any kind of ports on them. So has 6 GB of DDR, a boost clock of 1708. So CUDA cores 1280s because the 1060s, memory clock at 8008 megahertz. So it's pretty good. It's actually kind of nice. What the price is, who knows? I'm sure it's pretty ridiculous. So you know, under the Wi-Fi settings, what you do is you add your Ethereum address and save it. It doesn't really use Windows. And for the first 10 hours of mining, the hash rate was 199.87 megahertz. So let's just see if we can find the cost of this thing here. Comino N1 miner price. Let's check it out. Comino.com. Here we go. World's first liquid-cooled GPU miner. 4,500 euros. That's surprisingly not as much as I thought it would be. Now, 4,500 euros is no easy purchase, but for 8 graphics cards, especially when the graphics cards are so expensive, it's not too bad. But you could easily put this rig together for cheaper and get pretty much the same results. So, yeah, the Apple of miners. Basically goes to say about any Apple product that you don't quite get what you pay for, but you get a vanity product. Yay. So Tron network has been deemed safe for the next article, and the exchanges test deposits. So the Tron network is being deemed safe and stable by exchanges, and some are testing the ground with deposits or even withdrawals. However, the process is slow, and there are warnings against confusing the two sets of addresses. That is, the Tron digital asset that exists on the Ethereum network are not compatible with the new tokens on the Tron's mainnet. So don't send your Tron to an Ethereum wallet anymore. OKX has resumed both deposits and withdrawals for the new network. Binance has delayed Tron deposits and withdrawals after seeing problems with rogue trades in several coins, most notably CIS, but that doesn't necessarily have to do with anything with Tron. So the movement of Tron coins was very slow for a few days, with only a handful of transactions. Now transactions have increased to several thousand a day, still low compared to the activity on the Ethereum network. However, with the inclusion of distributed apps and use cases for Tron, it's actively expected to increase. So the Tron network is still run mostly by users, with only 3 super representatives elected, and the elections are ongoing through the Tron wallet, and moving may accelerate as more tokens are freed. So, all right. So Tron, so far so good, actually. But still, what do you do, Tron? Nobody knows what you do. You say you do things. but nobody knows what you do. But so far, so good. At least it's not as bad as EOS so far. So two thumbs up, I guess, for a good launch. As for the market prices, Tron skeptics are still winning at this point. And just as the network is launching, enthusiasm for Tron is at its lowest. Trading volumes have thinned out to 100 million in 24 hours, and the price has hovered sideways again at just below the 4-cent level. So not doing too well, but most coins are not doing too well, to be totally honest. So this one was kind of funny, but I just want to read you the quote from it. Now, don't get me wrong here. I think governments should educate themselves. I think, all societies, should educate themselves on crypto. But this is still a little silly. Crypto's been around for a while, so, I mean, you could just Google it. So the questions this guy's asking are really ridiculous. Like things you pull out your cell phone and Google. So unaware where Bitcoins are mined, RBZ governor embraces blockchain. So the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe doesn't know much about Bitcoin. And that's okay. It's time for education. And, we should always try to learn these things. But kind of funny. So here's the quote. So it's, what we are against, as I have always said, is to do things which are not regulated, because we need to know where these Bitcoins are being mined and do not want to hunt them. What? Anyway, okay, so next sentence. So while we want to embrace things, we need to know where they are coming from. It's pretty, you can Google it. If you embrace mobile banking platforms, we know that there is a trust account. Well, yeah, I mean, there's been a trust account for banks since the dawn of time. Mangudia, destroyed it, but that's okay. Tried to further reason RBZ's position on cryptocurrencies, demonstrating deficit of basic knowledge of the matter, which he seems unwilling to understand. It says, quote, if you are investing in virtual money, we want to know where it is being mined. In fact, cryptocurrencies are just like mobile money, because you need a wallet where you deposit the cryptocurrency. But the issue is, what is their source and how do they do it? Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Not everybody in the world knows about crypto. Fair enough. But, maybe you should get on that sort of thing. I mean, you are the governor of a reserve bank, of a central bank, essentially, of a country. Maybe we should get on that. Maybe try Google it. Google it before you quote things, at the very least. If you have no idea what you're talking about and you have to go and talk about it, at the very least, Google it. It's really easy. You could just say, hey, you could Google, how are Bitcoins mined? Where do Bitcoins come from? Any of those simple, very, very simple questions, you'll get thousands of pages. So I'm glad you guys are learning, and the governments around the world are checking it out at the very least, and realizing that the people are interested in it. Man, just Google it. Anyway, moving on. So examining the Indian government's fight against cryptocurrency. So not willing to go down without a fight, Indian cryptocurrency exchange platforms decided to take the matter to court in May 2018, so I'm going to read this a little out of order. To the disappointment of crypto enthusiasts in the country, the Supreme Court struck down an interim injunction against the ban. In June 2018, a startling revelation emerged that shows that the FBI failed to carry out any detailed research before issuing the ban. Excuse me, the RBI. The legitimacy of the RBI's decision. Basically, we're talking about India here, the Reserve Bank of India. Decision is questioned, leading to some petitioners seeking a stay of execution of the ban. The Supreme Court, however, denied the petitioners. As of tomorrow, July 6th, the RBI ban comes into effect. So India, boom, and they're done with crypto. So whether it turns out to be temporary or not, the RBI's crackdown is sure to have a severe impact on what was once a thriving cryptocurrency market. Considering the population of India, this should actually have an effect on crypto to some degree. It might take a little bit to go into effect. But the reason why I'm talking about this, one, because it's major for cryptocurrency, because India's population is gigantic, and we need them to be mining. We need them to be spending. We need them to be buying. We need them to be selling. But I have a friend. I play video games with him a lot. He's a good guy. You know, if you watch my live streams from time to time, which I haven't done lately, but if you watch him once in a while, you'll hear him on there. And he is from India, and he just actually flew back to India from the United States. He was in the United States. He was learning some things. Yeah, he was going to school, and he just got back to India, and he told me that you know, Bitcoin is banned there, and I'm like, wow, you know, because he might have, he owns Bitcoin. To be quite frank, I mean, it's okay for him to own it because I think it's still, you know, stationed in the United States or whatever, and it's not like I don't think anybody's getting arrested over it. It's just they're shutting down exchanges and things like that, and that's bad. So basically, he's like, well, I might just have to wait a few years, and hopefully it goes up in price, and that's the best way to hodl. Have your government ban cryptocurrency so that you can't sell it, and then 4 years later, figure it out. So moving on from that, this is an article, sort of a frustrating article. It says, stop trying to make money. The BIS chief tells young Bitcoiners the BIS is this scary looking intimidating government website, the Bureau of Industry and Security. That sounds like a made up bureau, but it's not. So congratulations, you old fat man that doesn't like cryptocurrency yet once again on your made-up job. Everybody give him a clap on his made-up role. They just made that up. They just totally made it up. Bureau, yeah, what are we gonna call it? Bureau of it's just industry. What else? We need one more name on it. We need one more name. I'm thinking, hold on. And security. Like, what is it industry? What do you mean? So it's like security of the industry? Why not just industry security? Sir, I don't know. We just need 2 names to make it sound official, and then we can all get paid. Can we just move on from this? Bam. Bureau of Industry and Security. Done. Let's get that website up out of here. So in an interview with Swiss news outlet, Basler Zeitung, published June 25th with a translation on BIS's own website, Carstens hit out Bitcoin's popularity. It said no cryptocurrency would be a happy ending. So cryptocurrencies do not fulfill any of the 3 purposes of money. They are neither a good means of payment. Really? I mean, I know Bitcoin has its slow periods when it gets too major, and I understand that it might be too many cryptos at this point, and that it's sort of flooding the market, and a lot of them are just straight up dead, and people are still investing into them. I get it, but no. I mean, they're a pretty alright means of payment. I mean, I could send you crypto right now, and it'll be there. And like, depending on what crypto I send you, it could be there anywhere from seconds to minutes to even an hour, which is still incredibly fast. I mean, compared to going to like Western Union or me going to your house or something like that, it's extremely fast. So let's see, nor a good unit of account. Well, blockchain is a pretty incredible unit of account. I mean, I know databases could still serve the same purpose to some degree without the immutability. I get it, but it's a pretty good unit of account. Nor are they suitable as a store of value. I mean, I'm gonna give them 50-50 on that, just because gold retains its value and stuff like that really, really well, even through major downturns of economies. But I mean, you know, buying in at 6,000 and selling at 20 is a pretty good store of value. They failed dramatically on each of these accounts. So yeah, nobody knows. The BIS sparked a backlash when it published a report earlier last month with industry figures including Andreas Antonopoulos decrying its content as FUD. It certainly is. So one of the more outspoken crypto critics among the banking sector, Carstens subsequently focused on mining, calling on young people to stop trying to create your own money. Stop trying to create your own money, young people. We don't need a better society. Just stop trying. Just stop trying to change the world around you. Stop. It's not worth it. It's not worth trying to change the world around you. Do you have a good idea? Do you have a good idea? Throw it in the trash. Because I'm from a made-up bureau. I'm a real person. I'm a big boy. I put my big boy pants on. I put my big boy pants on. I put my pants on first, and I learned it. I learned it last year. It took me 65 years of my life. I learned it. I learned how to be a big boy. I learned how to put my big boy pants on first, and then my big boy socks, and then my shoes. Because every time I'd put on my shoes, and I'd try to put on my big boy pants, and it wouldn't work so good. So stop trying to create your own money and make your own world. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. We're not going to take a look at the market. Just screw it today, because either way, it's probably the same thing. And we're all doing some hodling here. We're all waiting for the market to go back up. And someday it will. I think quarter 4 this year, it should start to go back up. That's usually just when a good time to invest for everybody is. And then, of course, towards the end of the year, everybody's selling. And at the beginning of the next year, everybody's selling because they want to get all their money back for taxes. So just remember that prices go way up at the end, and then that's kind of where you should probably sell if you do want to sell, and then pick it back up a couple months later when it's all the way down. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time.